Hello YouTube, this is Verdi HD or J. Today I am going to be doing a Prismacolor marker portrait set tutorial. I did this video like late at night. I was sleepy, so whatever I drew was whatever I drew, and I thought about noses. And the noses, it's kind of a good place to start with coloring. Here's the box, Prismacolor portrait set. It cost me about a good 75 bucks for this one. Michael's had a sale, and I took advantage of it. They had a 50% off. I wanted to get these. I really never had markers, and Copic, you only get like 6 markers for this price, literally, or like 30 bucks, and no one wants to pay for 6 markers for a color that you don't even get. And the coupon was 50% off only one item, and so I chose these Prismacolor, and I've used them. I like them. In this drawing, this tutorial, I kind of used a few colors. I don't remember the names. The link will the names of the colors will be in the description. So here I just started out with doing a base outline with a pencil, and then after that I would come in with my Faber-Castell markers, pencils, which I recently bought 2, and I'm going to do a tutorial on in the next video and show you different color combinations with the Faber-Castell color pencils. I'm trying to see what's the difference between Prismacolor color pencil and Faber-Castell, to see why the price is so high for Faber-Castell. But that'll be in another video, just a comparison. I'm trying to see like what is the real advantage of markers, color pencils, and those are my mediums. And I'm trying to figure out what I like. I'm trying to get back into that drawing activities. And I'm just going to speed this up and, go into different parts of this video. So here I finished my drawing, and I placed all the places where I want all my lines. So here I go in with the light umber, 30%, PM 72, I believe, Prismacolor marker, and I'm going to use it as a base layer for the bigger nose. And as you can see here, I'm just shading in the whole nose, because this is going to be the back plate, or the background of your bottom layer. And then further on, I chose the color Mocha Dark, or it was a light umber, I don't remember in the video. And it's gonna be like the shading, and the light was coming from probably this, it's coming from somewhere the right. Now that I know that I completed the first nose, I'm moving on down to the second nose, and the 2 colors I used were, it was probably a blush pink, PM PM9. And then the second color I chose to use was a darker color of the brick beige or the peach. And I wanted this to be a more of a Caucasian nose, you know, with the light coming in from the right again. And then I shaded it a little bit. The way I could improve was probably a little bit better, more layering, or better background. This is more of like a cartoonish nose, or like one of those books you would read back in high school. So I did go back and I started to use a darker color. This was probably one of the darkest, was probably a Corin Black. It was a PM214, and this was like for shading wise. And I kind of darkened up the top darker nose, just to get some of that more shading in, try to turn it into more of a, you know, darker African American man. When the light shines on a human, it kind of blurs out their top coat or top layer skin color, and it shows down their background color. And I try to, you know, do something like that a little bit with this dark color. And then I do go down below to the Caucasian person where I just shaded in their nostrils, because their nostrils, I think in all pictures, are dark. You know, it just shows that depth in the nose. So if you wanted to show depth in nose, either you would draw a darker topper loop of the nose, or just do like a little slit. You know, that shows how well the nose goes over the nostril hole, or how big the nostril nose is inside your portrait or picture. So in this video, I did introduce the Faber-Castell color pencil. I did use them on this project. I forgot that I used these in the beginning, but now, and I just used these to, you know, add a little bit more shading to my color pencils, and I use these on the other nose, and I'll talk about them later in the video. Later on, I went back in with and I just came back through with some shading, and I just shaded in, you know, just gave it a little bit more of the dark side shading. This looks like the 80% or 30% light umber. Now that I've finished, you know, using a little bit of the Prismacolor markers, the portrait set, I'm just gonna let this video just zoom through, you know, fast forward through the left side drawings, or the 3/4 face, I think, of the 4th face, and just gonna talk about really mostly of how I feel. And I mean, I feel great about them. I haven't used a different set of markers. I've used the manga set. They were really for, like, you know, more of like a Naruto drawing or a Dragon Ball Z drawing. I'm gonna do another video of that manga set later on. But I would give the Prismacolor markers about a good 9 out of 10, I guess, or 12. Only thing about it is they don't really have a lot of pigments, you know, for those colors, like the oranges or the like really dark, so the pinks that you really want. You know, they have like the basic colors, and that's when the other, like the Prismacolor color pencils or the Faber-Castell color pencils come in, and they give you that shade or that tone or that extra peak that you get from what you want from the color Prism markers. Because in the video, I wanted to use only the Prismacolor markers, but I had decided to use the Faber-Castell because I was going to make a video. So I just chose to use the color pencil, you know, just give me that background. I tried to do like an Obama picture, but of his like mouth and nose, but I didn't have an orange, and I tried to use one of the colors, but it gave me like a darker background, and then I chose a lighter color, and the lighter color didn't mix with it, so I just left it alone. So for any beginners, I would say yes, I would get the Prismacolor markers border set, so that you learn the experience of using the markers and having those shade tones, and you can create like a watercolor effect, as you see the video. Other than that, that's kind of my video. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.